Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Promoted Sandra. If this is the first time you are coming across this channel, thank you very much for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut and sew a bubu dress. So this is the Ankara I'm going to be using, and this is the shiny face I'm going to be using as a design at the uh, neckline. This is my chalk, my scissors, my tape, and my French curve. Okay, so without further ado, let us dive into this video. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep everything aside. Then once I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead to open my fabric and fold it into two. So for this dress, I'm making use of 4 yards of Ankara. So what I'm going to be doing is to fold it into two, like I'm going to be folding the 4 yards into two, okay, to make this bubu dress. And just watch out what I'm doing to see how I'm going to be folding it. So I will take the end parts of the fabric and attach it to the other side of the fabric. I will fold it into two. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, just like as you can see me doing. So once I'm done folding it into two, then I will fold it again and lap it. Remember, we are going to be cutting the back and the front at the same time. So I believe you guys understand what I'm doing. I will fold it into two again like this. So once I was done doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to take my gown length. Okay, so I'm just going to measure it and take the gown length. Then once I'm done doing that, I will mark it, then take my ruler and mark a straight line across. Then before cutting it, I went ahead to add my sewing allowance and as well. So you're going to be adding your sewing allowance before you end up cutting it. So for me, I added 2 inches. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to take my neck measurement. So the neck measurement I'm working with, the wideness is 3. Okay, so I'm just going to measure 3. Then I will shift the fabric downward and go straight to the end part of the fabric and come down by half an inch. So I will just take my ruler and rule from that 3 inches I marked and mark a slant line from there to the half inch, okay, that I marked at the end of the fabric. So this is going to be our shoulder slope, right? So once I was done doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to draw out a V shape. Okay, so the length of the V shape I actually marked at 5. So I marked at 5, just like as you can see. So you can go if you want it to be very deep, maybe 6 or 7. You can do that. Then once I was done doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to also mark the back depth. Okay, so I'm going to be marking coming down by 1 inch. So I'm going to be cutting the back and the front together at the same time. So I want the back neck to be round while the front will be V. So this is it. So just watch at how I'm going to be cutting this out on my fabric, okay? So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out this part that I just ruled, okay? I will cut it out with the back. So just watch at what I'm doing. Now that I'm done cutting out the back alongside with the sleeve slope, so I'll go ahead to remove the back and cut out the front. I'll cut out the front neck, just like as you can see me doing. So now that I'm done cutting out the front neck, I also went ahead to cut out lining for the dress as well. I didn't show that part, so I went ahead to cut out lining, and I've already lined it. I turned the each of the pieces with the lining, so I went ahead to iron it out. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, the front neck of the lining, I will have to cut it out. Okay, so I first of all went ahead to iron it, then I will need to fold it into two and make it firm before I go ahead to cut it out, just like as you can see me doing. So it's not, at this point, it's not compulsory you must line your own. Okay, so you can go ahead to just fold it like that and sew it, but the customer want her own to be lining. That is why I went ahead to lining it. So right now I'm cutting out the neck. Remember, I actually went down by 5 before. I went ahead to add half inch to make it 5.5. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using to make design on the neck. So what I'm going to be doing is that I went ahead to fold the fabric into two. I went ahead to fold it into two. Then I'm going to measure the length that I want for the design at the front. I'm going to be putting the picture on the screen so that you understand what I'm saying. So the length I actually want is 5.5. I've gone ahead to mark it, like I've gone ahead to mark it. Then I will remove the front part, then cut it out. Okay. But I'll measure 5.5 inch round from the neck down to the depth. Okay, I will just measure it around, just like as you can see me doing. Then I will connect it. I'll go ahead to cut it out. So this is going to be the front. Okay, then I will also go ahead to do the same thing for the back. Before I go ahead to cut out the design for the back, oh, they've seized the light. So before I cut out the back, I'll go ahead to measure it again, because when I was sewing it, I didn't see the depth that I marked before. So I'll go ahead to place the front at the back and measure the neck to make sure is equal. Okay. So after cutting out the neck, I went ahead to place the front design. I place it on another fabric, then cut it out, then trace out the neck, the shoulder. So for the neck, it's not going to be V. I'll just mark out 5 each round, then cut it out. So it's going to be round. So once I was done doing that, I would take this to my iron it. So before I iron it, I'll go ahead to bend it with 1/2 inch, just like as you can see me doing. I will do the same thing for the front. Then once I'm done bending it, I will take it to my iron. I will take it to my iron and iron it out. So this is it, just like as you can see on this video. I've gone ahead to fold it with 1/2 inch inward, then iron it, and this is firm. This is far firm. So this is the back as well. I've gone ahead to do the same thing for the back. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to attach this to the front and attach the back to the back. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with the back. Pay attention to what I'm about to do here. For you to do this, you will make sure the right side of the turning is facing the wrong side of the fabric. So once you are done doing that, you pin it together. Okay, so the only thing you're going to be doing here is to turn the neck. You take it to your sewing machine and sew the neck. Don't sew the shoulder side, just sew the neck. So I'm going to be doing the same thing for the front side. You can see the front side, I've gone ahead to pin it out. So once I was done pinning it out, then I turned it to the front side of the, after sewing it, I turned it, then iron it, press it down. So I've gone ahead to secure it with my office pin. Okay, so as you can see, so you see the reason why we went ahead to iron it out with 1/2 inch. So we are just going to take it to our sewing machine and sew it close to the end. Just sew it close to the end. Just be careful when you are sewing it, because you want this to be very neat. So I will sew it around from the up to the other side. Then I will do the same thing for the back. Then I will also cut out the excess. So if you have any excess, you can cut it out. So this is the back. I'll go ahead to, so I believe you just see how I did it. Then I turned it. I'll go ahead to sew it, then cut out the excess. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew it, then iron it. I also joined the shoulder together, give it a very good press. So now that I'm done doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to fold it into two again and take my body measurement. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is to take my half length measurement, so the client half length measurement and hip length measurement. So once I was done doing that, I will start inputting my basic body measurement. So the measurement I'm working with, I divided it by 4, then I added 1 inch is allowance. So I will also go to the upper part and mark. I will take my chest line measurement. From my shoulder to my chest line is 10 inch. So I went ahead to measure 10 inch and also take my bust measurement from that shoulder measurement. So once I was done doing that, I will go ahead, I will shift this down, then I'll go to the downside of this dress. I will measure 7 inches upward. Then once I was done doing that, I will use my chalk to trace a line from that hip line. I will not mark it straight. I'll mark it like a shape and trace it to meet the point I mark at the down. I'm also going to be doing the same thing for the back measurement. So once I'm done doing that, I will take it to my sewing machine and sew it. And once I'm done sewing it, I will iron it, then clean off the chalk. So I just quickly want you guys to know this. Where we mark with our chalk, that is where we are going to be sewing. Okay, remember we are marking this at the front side, because this is an agbada. We are going to be sewing it at the front side, not the back side. I've gone ahead to sew it. This is how it look like. This is the beautiful agbada. Okay, so if you watched to this extent, thank you very much for watching. If you have any question, let me know at the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and also leave your comment. Thank you. Bye. See you on my next video. So guys, I'm going to be leaving the link to my second YouTube channel at the description section. Do it to join my second family. See you. Bye.
The hand of God in your life. The hand of God in your life.